Or
Hey, can you hear us?
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Let me just set settings. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about this being a really shitty way to end the
Yeah, I
tournament.
mean, I think what I would say is, I mean, there were a couple things. First of all, obviously, I was simply way too tired by the end of today. I mean, there's no doubt about that. As far as this end game, I mean, letting him go D3 and D takes E2 was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's not. I mean, there probably are many ways to be better, but I basically played the only way where it can get complicated. So I'm not really happy about that. But the main thing that I did really poorly throughout the day, and not just in the last round, but I mean really every game today, is I just as soon as I got too low on time, I mean my brain just didn't work whatsoever. Like a good example was the game against Dayak, where it was completely fine, and then as soon as we got into this massive scramble, I mean I was very lucky to not lose that game. And the same thing happened in his final game where I missed like 20 different things. As soon as he played knight d1, like I mean, I almost blundered the game with knight e4. And then there was another moment where I almost played a one move blunder. I mean, it was just very, very bad. I mean, to put it mildly. Um, and yeah, it's what it is. So very very disappointing. But what I would say is that overall, considering the way the day had gone, it wouldn't have changed anything. If I were playing for first place, like, and I lost this game, I'd probably be really really unhappy. But because I wasn't playing for the top three, at least it's not that big of a deal. But it's definitely disappointing to put it mildly.
Besides the chess, how was the mood in the playing hall in New York today?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it was relatively fine. I mean, I don't think there was like some massive drama or anything around it. I think it's yeah, it was fine.
Are you looking
Merson is
for?
the new, sorry.
Oh, Merzen won?
Yeah, the new champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played very well. I think when I look back at my tournament, that's the one game that I'm very, very unhappy about because I had chances. I was a little bit better. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say I should win or anything, but I was a little bit better. And then I mean, I made two bad moves and he punished me for it. So, the silver lining at least that I lost to the person who won the event. I think when you look at the Russian players very specifically, they have not had many opportunities over the last couple of years for pretty obvious reasons. And I think someone like Merzen, who's pretty young, he's been one of the unfortunate casualties. So to see him win is obviously very very nice. Definitely to see one of the young kids do that is great.
It's actually triple Russian with Grishuk and Nepomniachtchi taking the podium.
I mean, I obviously didn't have a chance to look. I mean, I just got back. Yeah, I think it's maybe a little surprising to see all three of them up there, but at the end of the day, I mean, Grishchuk's a very battle-tested player. He might be a little bit older now, but still very strong. Same thing goes for Nepo. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's too surprising in terms, what you have for the standings because you have two great players and then you have someone who's on the rise. So not too surprising, but yeah, it's what it is.
Are you looking forward to the Blitz tournament?
I mean, I think as far as the Blitz goes, the main thing is to not be creative. I mean, I felt very strongly that today, I mean, for no reason, I was very creative at moments when I should not have been. It was this first game against Brandon was so bad. I mean, I played this Bishop G4 F3 Bishop D7, which was insane. I never should have done that. And then I played B5, which was also horrible. So it was a really really bad day. And I mean, I think it's also kind of ironic in a way because this last game was in many ways I think probably the best game I played. Like I was just winning out of the opening, and then I found a way to throw it away. So I mean. Obviously, it's good to have something to look forward to versus not versus like going home after this event, certainly. But all in all, I mean, it's just I didn't have high expectations for the Rapid, but to finish the way that I finished, I mean, was really kind of it leaves a sour taste in the mouth because yesterday against Merzen should never have lost that. I mean, to be fair, Brandon played a great game. I mean, he played a great game against me. And I think he might have even beaten Wei Yi in the last round. I didn't actually see what happened. But I mean, it looked like he was much better in that game too. So a lot of credit to him. And then yeah, in this last game, I mean, Hans kept the game going, and yeah, I mean, just made it complicated for no reason. And yeah, it's unfortunate. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, he lost the last round to
Oh,
Wei,
he
but
lost
he's
away? It looked like he was much better to me when I looked. But no, I mean, this last game actually I was thinking about, I was going to play this knight 91, knight df3, and then I played f3, and I allowed this 93, knight d1, which was completely insane too. And just like, yeah, it was surprising. It's surprising how strong the pawn on e2 becomes in that endgame. Although I think even that endgame I probably was drawing, but like every game, like as soon as I get low on time, like my brain just like I played g4, and that was not my initial intention. I think I was going to play 97. Was it 97 I was going to play? I forget what it was. I was going to play something, and then I played G4. And yeah, just crazy. No, actually, now I remember. No, I was going to go, actually, I was going to go knight f4 right away, and then I played king f2. I was going to go knight f4, g5 takes, and knight e6, and that probably is an easy draw. And then I ended up playing king f2, king c3, knight f4 for no reason at all. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation to be in these days where it's like you know that if you get low on time, you're gonna struggle, but yeah, it's what it is.
Will you maybe be playing some like warm-up games before the Blitz over the board?
I mean, I don't know. I thought, I mean, I got good positions. Like the issue for me was like I got good positions in a lot of the games. It's just that when I got low on time, I just like I mean, I just couldn't find the moves. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe 10 seconds is the wrong increment. Maybe I need to play with 2 seconds, but I mean, it's just so bad. Really, really, really bad. Like really bad. I don't even have anything better to say. It's just that bad.
But don't you think that playing a few games might help before the Blitz? Because top players
Um,
these days, they don't play that much over the board Blitz, do they?
Maybe. I mean, I think if I look at the last game between yesterday and today, though, I mean, it's very clear to me that I was just too tired. I mean, I was just way
Mm.
too tired in both of these last two games, and then my decision making wasn't right when it got down to the crunch time. So I don't know if it's so much about blitz. I think I still can move fast, but it is true that in general I didn't have many massive scrambles. So maybe I'll play a few games. I mean, maybe I will, but I think yeah, I think that at any rate, I mean, I'm glad that this happened where I wasn't in contention, because if this happened where I was in contention, like I probably would be very 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 upset with myself. But it's what it is. But that's life.
I just have one final question. Djokovic
hmm
was interviewed today, and he said they are still trying to get Magnus to play the Blitz. Do you think there's any chance that will happen?
I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I'd be very surprised if Magnus will play. Maybe he will. I have no idea. I mean, I think at this point it's very unlikely. But that's Magnus and Fide's fight. Like they can figure out. Was it Emil who said that or not?
At Djokovic.
Dvorkovich said, yeah, I mean, if it's Dvorkovich, there's more of a chance, but like really, I mean, I think also, that was another thing today is I think that I wasted way too much time, talking about it, thinking about it, yesterday. And I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit sick of all of it. I mean, I'm really just a little bit sick of it because, it's just like, it's just a bad situation. I don't think there's any way to be happy about it with what's going on, in general, but like, it's where we're at. And I
I'm
mean,
very
I think for the people who are probably watching as well, like I'm not like it's not the end of the world, obviously. Like I got a winning position against Hans. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna go tweet something or whatever, like a complete idiot. But that's his prerogative, obviously. So for anyone who thinks that like it's gonna be some big thing, like if I were in the running for the top three, I'd actually be pretty upset. But the fact that like even a win would have gotten me, I don't know, like top 10 maybe or something, like it's just not that big of a deal for me. It's more just like I'm a little bit confused as to how I did that in this game, but also the game against Merzen as well. I'm just a little bit confused as to how exactly I found ways to lose positions that I should never lose. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough, but I think at the end of the day, I have to remember that going into this, my goal is to do on the Blitz. I did not have high hopes in the Rapid, and give or take a couple of games, and I could have maybe contended for the top three. So there's always a silver lining to everything. But I think the biggest thing that I learned from the last 2 days is like at the end of the day, like I'm gonna not at the end of the day, but at the end of a very long day, I'm going to I need to have more energy or something, because I didn't have it. And the 2 games between this one and yesterday were, well, this one obviously didn't matter, but the one yesterday was very, very critical, because if I don't lose yesterday, I would have had a legitimate shot at finishing in the top 3. So at least I figured out like what I did wrong. And at least I got good positions. I wasn't getting blown off the board. That's probably the most important thing, is that it's not a situation where like I was losing out of the opening in every game. I generally was pretty competitive. So it's all good for anybody who thinks that like I'm like super tilted or unhappy. I mean, it's disappointing, but it's not that big of a deal.
Do
But
you
if
have a
you
team? Oh, sorry, Fiona.
Yeah, it's just very quickly, if you say that you figured out if the lack of energy was an issue at the end of the day, how is that something that you can fix before the Blitz, which is gonna be another
Well,
very long
it means
day?
that I just have to go. Have to go find a coffee shop nearby and get a bunch of coffee. That's all there is to it. If I can do that, it's fine. I mean, I think it's yeah, this one specifically, I mean, the decision to let that pawn get to E2 versus playing knight B3 and just trading the B pawn for the D pawn and reaching a technically winning endgame is just, it's something that should never happen. Should never happen in a million years. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm not actually I'm not like super unhappy or anything. It's just kind of wasn't meant to be. But again, when I look back on it, with Merzen scoring what, 10.5 was it? He scored 10 and a
10.
half. A 10, I mean,
10.
still 10 points. I mean, that's a huge score. So, I mean, even the idea of winning all the games today wasn't really there. So, yeah, I mean, congrats to the people who won. And I mean, hopefully in the Blitz I can play better when I have less time to actually think, because I think a lot of my decisions were, a lot of my big mistakes were when I had time to think. Like even this game, didn't I spend a bunch of time before playing Rookie 1? I think I spent like 2 minutes before playing Rookie 1 and Rookie 2, which is
Yeah.
just also just completely crazy. I mean, completely crazy. Like, what am I even doing? Yeah, but yeah, it's just how it goes. Just how it goes. I mean, frustrating, but it's what it is.
Hammer, you had another question.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna ask if you have a team with you at the venue.
Well, I mean, my
between the
wife is
games.
obviously playing in the women's event, and I do have my second here. So they're yeah, I mean, 92 also, if I'm gonna play it, I should play Rookie 1 right away as well. I mean, for anybody who's watching it, like, I mean, this was a game that, I mean, I probably win this game 99 out of 100, and this is the one time. This is the one time that I don't win it. And when that happens, like that's just how it goes. I mean, it's just how it goes. So like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy, but at the end of the day, it's unless your name is Magnus, although even he's had some struggles lately. Unless your name is Magnus, you usually do. It's usually not. It's not always going to go your way. So yeah, that's just how it goes. And I mean, not super happy, obviously, but it wouldn't have changed much other than a little bit of prize money. So yeah, that's just how it goes. And also, yeah, one other thing as far as having a team here, yeah, I mean, I do have people here, like I mentioned. I think the main thing is mostly you just want to have a pretty chill vibe. I will say, one of the big differences with this one versus other past events is that with the other Rapid and Blitz that I've played, they've had room so that you can have people who are actually on site. For this one, they don't have that. So basically, I either have to leave and go out, or I have to spend money to buy a ticket. And I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do that. So that is the one big difference as far as things go, is that I do have to leave and come back to a hotel before I can do anything.
Have you been doing that? Did you ever go back in
Yeah, I mean,
between?
usually in between the rounds, I'm leaving the playing site. That's what I'm usually doing. I'm leaving the playing site. And yeah, it's how it is. It's not ideal perhaps, but it's also not something that's like, it's not something to really complain about either. It's just kind of whatever. That's just how it goes. So yeah, it's Not a big deal, certainly. I mean, I think yeah. I mean, it's funny. You know, everyone's going to talk about this game that I lost to Hans, but honestly, the loss to Brandon is so much more embarrassing. I mean, for him to play A4 and lose who I lost is like, I mean, 1,000 times worse than the game against Hans, even though I'm sure that's all anyone's going to talk about. But yeah, it's what it is.
Hikaru, I don't think we have any more questions, so we're just gonna say thank you for coming by. Best of luck for the Blitz, and if you want, you can end the stream.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, even though it wasn't meant to be. I mean, I think we knew that pretty early on, but yeah, it's all good. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see everybody in a couple of days for the Blitz. So I'll see you then. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.